Welcome to Blue Dragon Actual. So after a long time, after recording multiple, uh, reply videos, salary videos, etc., let us do a, maybe a training sort of video. Now this video or this learning is on Excel. That is because while I was working in corporate, I have interviewed many people who would like to tell that they like when I ask them what number or what rating would probably they would give themselves if they are given a chance, 10 being the highest, 1 to 10 in Excel, right? And also in VBA maybe. And most of them replied 7, 8, 9, right? And then I asked them a very simple task like this is my right, this is the name of my entire family. This is my father's name. My name actually do not have a Kumar, but I just to complicate things, I just give things like this. Like this is the name. This is my name. There are three names. Usually the name in India, like usually that's the naming convention. Now you have to split this into three names, like first name, middle name, and surname, and you have to use a formula. Now even when I say that you have to use a formula, there are many people who does this is for example if I just remove this, there are many people who does this. They go to data validation and they will go here and they will say not sorry, not data validation, I think they will go to text to column, right? Sorry, let me select this. They will go, just a minute, I think sometime. Yeah, so as I was kind of saying, the most people will kind of go here, right? They will select this column and they will do text to column. So this is not using of usage of formula, right? But in spite of me mentioning that do not use anything other than formula, they will still do this, and that's the usual technique, right? And they will say yeah, space, and you can see, right, this is getting separated. Now I'll finish this, right? Yes. So I'll finish this. Something happened, right? Like you can see this name got finished. So I told them no, I don't want this. I want three names, right? And let me just reverse this back, right? So I want first name, middle name, and surname, and that has to be done by for formula, right? And in fact, I'll show you another different technique, right? Which is much easier, right? That is called flash fill. Probably you don't know this. Many people don't know this. So as for example, if I just write my name, once again, this is my mother's name, and I'm just manufacturing the middle name. So I'm just writing Kumari and Samyukta, right? So this is sort of like Excel. You will use this as example, and you can place your cursor to a particular cell and just use flash fill. It will automatically fill. You can also use Control Enter, Control E, sorry, Control E, and you can see it is automatically filling. So this is kind of use of artificial intelligence in Excel. Like they are using that, and like this, I think this facility is present from 2020. I don't remember, but this facility is present in Excel from 2020. Nobody knows this, so that's why they don't do this. But once again, that will not solve your purpose, right? Suppose you have 2000 names. How are you going to do this? And also, this sort of things we usually, like for example, you have to separate something by plan code or a product code, where you will require or you need to create an identifier to kind of compare or get data between two files. So I've seen people struggling, and they are very bad in Excel. And because of that, their actual performance suffers, right? So today we are going to understand, and you need to, like, I am not prepared for that, right? I am not prepared for this. I'll just right now I'll solve. So there will be chance that I'll be making mistake. As for example, you have seen that while kind of doing the text to column, I did not select the particular column, so I'm not prepared for this. So that it would be an impromptu video, and it will take some time, but it will probably make you understand what would be the thought process and when exactly you can give yourself maybe something over 8 in Excel, right? Whether we're talking about Excel, I'll be like, I'm in the process of getting my company registered and getting the GST approval, etc., etc., for beginning with our course. And first course obviously will be SP2. Probably would be released, and the registration will probably start from end of June or last week of June. Basically, it takes around 2.5 months for SP2 to complete. Practical, like everything, question and the books, everything should get complete by 2.5 months. Don't give more time than that. Especially, I believe people who are studying SP2, SP1 higher papers. Basically, they are working, right. So you can't be like a normal person, like a college fresher who is always studying, right? You can't do that. So obviously you like that more time than that is not required. You need some work to understand this subject and you can do very well. These are more important, like and any financial certification require Excel and VBA and this software, right? So we'll also have these courses, but that will come much later, maybe in August, right? Because I have to record all of this. It's a lot of workload on me along with trading courses as well. So lot of workload, right? But yeah, so today without that, whenever it will happen, I'll inform. Probably next week I'll release a video on of the structure of the courses, when there will be doubt clearing classes, when there will be like all of this will be digitally recorded, but there will be obviously the main important thing would be the, so that the detail recorded, because it can reach the entire world, right? And because after COVID we have that mindset, we want to sit at our home and get the the quality material or quality content by by online method, right? But at the same time, anyone can anyone in the world can see that. And also the most important thing would be the doubt clearing session, where you will have doubt and I'll try to answer those questions, right? And also we'll have a WhatsApp group or Telegram channel, so that even if I am not available, or if sometime I don't know, someone else might would be able to answer that, right? So it will be specifically dedicated group for SP2, CP2, and CP3. These are the three papers we'll be targeting. CP2 takes hardly 1.5 months actually. Like if you devote more time than that, it's not that you are you will be clearing that exam, because that more time than that is, in fact, these are all prudent estimate. More time than that is not required, right? And you can use that time to maybe some do something else, maybe learn something outside your actual material, because your actual material will just make you a paper actually. In order to go to something, like to get to a level where you would be a proper actuary, you need to concentrate on materials outside your actual book, right? And all of those would follow. Like I'll create one course after another, but as I mentioned, I am the person who is doing all those recordings, so it's a workload on me, and I can't let someone else do this, because uh, the dilution of quality will be there. And hopefully we'll choose people, maybe one or two people who also accompany me with creation of the courses, so that dilution of quality is not there. Because there might be people who are at a senior level, but once again, conceptual clarity is something that is severely lacking in actual industry, irrespective of our designation. Once again, coming back to the topic, because today's topic is not this. Now we have to kind of create this, right? So this is your name. Let me just structureize this little better. And today you will have to bear with these keystrokes, because it might create some sound, but unfortunately can't help it. So this is how I like to structure it. I'll call this first name, right? And this I'll call middle name, and this I'll call last name. Okay. So this is how it is. Let me structure it a little bit more, and then I'll just put it in a this sort of box, so that it looks good. A few of my teammates or ex-teammates in Sun Life used to create very beautiful tables. I used to see review their work, and their table was so beautiful. Somewhere blue, somewhere orange. They used to create very beautiful tables. In any case, so what would be the logic by which we can do that, right? Coming straight to the point, the logic is we have to kind of create or separate this by space, because that is common between everything, right? So this is the common separator, like we have used that text to column in data type, right? So space was the common separator, so that much we understand. Now we have to identify formulas or identify methods by which we can do that, right? And we'll break this into multiple. So this is a complex task, like no, there is no easy way to do this other than doing the text to column or flash fill. So I have already shown you the easy way, but that is not what you want, right? You need a formula. So in order to do this, I have to break this task into multiple things, and that is the usual way to approach a difficult task. It is a the task is difficult because there are 10 tasks embedded in that single task, and you have to break it into single like small pieces so that you can cater to each of those pieces, and then your task will be much more simplified, right? Every task is simple. It might not be easy, but it is simple, and you have to break it so that that simplification portion can be done, right? So first of all, I will try to find out, and I'll just try to separate the first name without thinking of the middle name and the last name, because then that would be one part of that work is done. 33% of the work is done. The remaining 33 or 67% might be more harder, but right now I'm not thinking about that, right? So that is my thought process, because this is the purpose of this video, because there will be n number of challenges in Excel, right? And there are n number of formulas in Excel, right? These days chat gpt might also help, right? But uh, for to use those formulas, you have to understand what is going on, right? Otherwise, a task in Excel might seem impossible for you, but it can be done very easily, or maybe after some thinking, right? So first of all, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to split this word from the left side, right? So there is a function in Excel, probably all of you are aware, that is called left. And then the second thing that I'm going to do is to kind of figure out the space, right? Space, the first space. So once again, there is a function called find, and we can use that function to kind of separate the space, right? So let me write that. So I'll write left, right? And I'll select this entire text. Now for finding out the space, I'll write find, right? Now find is a function that works from the left side only, right? Find do not, because that's how we read. So find also work from the left side. So what I'm going to, you can see the help, it is written find text, right? So find text, that is space. So I'm giving a space, you will not be able to see anything. After the quotation, I have given a space, right? Now I was asked to put within text, right? What is within text? Within text is this entire text, right? So that I am putting. Now obviously you can put a filter, like you can code this or not code this, you can put a filter, right? I don't remember the like the dollar sign, so that your column is not changed, only your row changes, right? That's a good practice. I think you can call it column freeze, like you can freeze the column, right? Now this will give me the space, location of the space, right? But I want the number to be extracted, or the word to be extracted up till like before that point, right? So I will do just a -1, right? So this should give me, in this case, Arun, and then it should give me Arpan, and the last one should give me Sandhya. Now we can see that all of this number name are of different characters, right? So if this formula is working perfectly, then it should give us all those numbers and all those, all those things, and it should not create any issue, right? So this is giving me Arun, right? First of all, another thing that I'll check if the name is indeed, like if there is any space or not, because if there is any space, so I can use another function which is called trim. So kind of remove the space, right? So but this is 4-letter word. So this, then I'll drag this and drag this, right? I'll just check because I know my sorry, not this. So I'll just copy this and paste this here. And I know my name letter is 5 word and this is 7 word. So I can see that these are working. So I just tested. So you can see that I did some exercise, right? Using a thought process. First of all, I split my work. Then I did the first part, right? And then immediately after doing the first part, I checked if I have done the work correctly. Now this checking part is missing in many people, right? They don't check. They do the work and then submit it. And that's why when we review, we get some error, and that might cause further challenges, because they might think that the work is done, but the work then again come back to them, right? That is not the way to do the work. Whenever you are doing any work, especially in Excel, especially in numbers, right, financials, please check if that is making sense, right? Use some check, and that is also something that you use in sigma 2, the modeling technique paper, right? Always check. Now we have to kind of determine Kumar, right? We have to kind of separate. Now the problem is, now there are two spaces. One is this space, and another is this space, right? So it is very difficult, because find can work like that, but because find has an additional function. So just to give an example, right? If I just try to start find from a different position, then it might work. For example, I'll not do this because this is not a good solution, but just to show the solution, right? So I'll just use the same thing, left, right, and this one I'll just freeze it once again, right, and out of that I'll require, here I will use the, instead of number of characters I'll use find to determine the exact number, right. Once again I'll give space, and then I'll go to this one. Once again I'll column freeze this, right, and then I can, now you can see this is an optional argument, we don't need, that's why this comes within third bracket or square bracket. Now I can say start after maybe 3, right, or maybe we know that start after maybe 5, right, and then that can give you the Kumar part, right, because but it does not mean that every time it will start from 5, right, it can start up after this as well. In this case it is starting after 7, right. So there is no easy way to do that, like you can't put 7 here, because if you do that, right, and maybe if you put a minus here, -1 is not required. So if you do this, then it would be like it is working like that, Arun Kumar, like you are getting that entire thing, right. It is finding the second space, and it is skipping the first one. So somehow you are kind of separating the, the last name. This is one of the way, but this is not the best way, right. This is this, you can't, like you can see that this is working in some manner, but here you can see that this is not working, right. So this shows that whatever solution you have tried, this is not working, right. So in this case, the left function will not work, right. So what can work, first of all, right. Now, once again, as I mentioned that I have not prepared for this, right. So even I am kind of thinking out loud, right, what would work. Another function that could probably work, right, is mid function, right. So mid function, what mid function does is it will start from a position and it will extract till the end of the position. So in this case, once again, I'll try to split this work into two works. So I'll try to get this, first of all, I'll try to get this from like leaving the first name and the space, I'll try to get this entire name, right. Like in this case it will be Kumar Sengupta, Kumar Sengupta, I'll try to get this entire name. And if that I can get that, then I can use the similar technique that I've used here, like Arun, right, to extract the Kumar part, right. So I've I'll first try to get this like the middle and the combination of the middle and the last name, and then I'll extract the second middle name, right. That is what I can think, because that would be similar to this one, right. Now, because in order to do that, I will start with this, and this is the text, right. Once again, I will freeze it. Then I'll require the start number, right. The start number is obviously, I know that it will start from the space, and this case, this time, because find works from the left, right, I know that the first space that find will start get, that is the space that I require, right. So I'll find space within this, one, right, and I need to start from one character after that, right. So I am writing +1, right. So this is my start number, right. And now I have to write number of characters, right, number of characters. So what could be the number of characters, right. Number of characters, here I can say that you take the entire length of the name, right. So I can say length, right, and the name of this entire text, right, that I can do, uh, length of this entire text minus uh, length of this, right, length of this one, and length of this, sorry, I think I just pressed something else, b2, right, length of this. So what this will give me is the name, the entire length name, and minus this name, right. And with that, I think I can add or subtract one, or use a trim later. Let me see if this is working now. Since you are writing such a complex formula, right, there is made, and then there is find, then there is find +1, then there is length. So always kind of do something, and then see if it is working, right. If it is not working, then there is no point in moving in that direction, right. So I'll just put, I think I have closed every bracket. Yeah, so I can see this is coming as Kumar Sengupta, but there is a space, right. Now I can also adjust it here, but I don't want to do too much, of my formula manipulation there. I'll just use trim so that it will clear out the extra space, right? So you can see this is coming as Kumar Sengupta. Now if I copy it here, yeah, this is also working and this is also coming as Kumari Sengupta. So this means that this is working, right? This is working. Now I can use the same technique. Now suppose you don't want to use length of b2, now you can replace this entire formula. Like you can copy this because you don't want any dependence on any other cell, right? So you can, instead of writing b2, right, you can replace the entire formula. And this is what you can do, right? That will also work. So in that case your dependency is only on this cell, right? It is working independent of this cell, right? Now you can see this formula is a very complicated one. Right now if someone is trying to decipher this formula, it is very very difficult for that person, right? But because we have broken this task into multiple legs, we are able to understand what is going on there, right? Now we are going to copy this entire thing, right? Because we have to use that left, right? And we are going to use that on this formula. So here I will write left. I'm going to use the same logic that I've used here, right? And left, this is the text, right? So this is the text. In the text I need to use the find. In find I will find the space, right? And within what I'll find this, so I'll copy this entire formula, right? So that it will once again find it in that, and then I'll use -1 because I want it like it. I'll just want up to the Kumar part, right? So this should work. Let's see. It has given me. Now you can see this is a huge formula. This is a huge formula. If you try to decipher it, it will be very very difficult for you to understand, right? And but I have kind of broken it so that it is easier for you to understand, right? Now you can do that. And let's see. Yeah, this is working. Once again I'll check if the length is perfect or I have to use a trim, right? So this one, the length is 5, the length is 5, this length is 6, right? And we can manually see that Kumar length is 5, right? So that is perfect, right? Now what should I do for the last name? Now we have already got Arun and Kumar, right? We have already got that. So out of three things we have got two things, right? Now I have to get the third one, right? So if I can just replace this two, right, these two factors, then I'll get the third one, right? So I can use a substitute thing, right? Substitute function is also a function in Excel, right? So if I just replace this one, Arun and space Kumar, or Arpan space Kumar, and then I'll only be left with Sengupta, right? That is the way we can do it. So let me use that, right? That is the thought process that I just thought. You can also use mid, or you can also use some way to maybe extract from the right side, right? Maybe this is also possible, I believe. I am also using right. This might be more simpler, right? Right, and then I am using this one, right? So it will start from the right. Now once again what I'll require the space, right? I'll require the space, right? But if I use space here, it will probably, because find will start from left, so find will not start from here, right? Find will start from here, so it will once again give me Kumar Sengupta. So I don't want to do that. So maybe substitute is the best way, right? So I'm just going to write substitute, right? Then here I'll require this text. So I'm once again going to freeze it. Now in the old text, right? What I'm going to do is, you like in this case I am just selecting these two, right? I am writing, and now I'm giving a space. This is where I'm concatenating, right? And here I am writing another this one. So I am going to replace Arun space Kumar, right? And that I'll replace with nothing. So there is no space this time, right? And in this case, and the next one is the optional one. This should return me Sengupta. Let's see. Yes, it's doing that. Let me see if it works for others. Right. And I don't know if there is any space or not. Let me also use a trim just to avoid that extra space, if there is any. I don't think there would be one, but in case there is, right, just to avoid that, so I have removed this. Now you can see our name is split. Now whatever three name letter you have, right, you can split it in this manner. So what are the things that you have learned from this? First of all, don't give yourself 8 or 9 in Excel until unless you can think like this. Because in interview, we are not trying to judge whether you can do that, because in interview you are already under some pressure. But your thought process should be like this, right? That you have a bigger task and you split that task into multiple smaller tasks, right? You might not know that there is a function called find. You might not know that there is a function called substitute, right? That you can Google that. For that, you can probably use Chat GPT, but you need to know the logic, right? Because Chat GPT might not give you this function, or many times what I've seen that Chat GPT gives wrong code. Many people are saying that Chat GPT will replace coder. That is still 20 years away, because ChatGPT write wrong code all the time. I have used it personally for many projects, Python and Pine script, Trading View. If you have worked in that, so ChatGPT always write wrong codes. So there is some time for ChatGPT to replace coders. Now you need to, first of all, it's better for you to know that this function exists so that you can visualize this. Secondly, what is more important is you need to break the task into simpler tasks, right? So, and once you achieve one task, then you can achieve the second one, and even this way you can probably work, right? Now once again, here also, if you just want to kind of remove this maybe dependency on a B2 and C2, right? You can copy paste the formula here. I'm not doing that, right? I'm just not doing that. But you can easily copy paste the formula for B2 and copy paste the formula that is present here in C2. Then your only entire dependency will be on A2, right? So in this way, you can do it, and no matter how many names you have, this can this can work wonderfully, right? Now in Excel, there are 210 methods to do something, right? Although right now I have thought of this, maybe sometime, maybe if you ask this 1 week later, I'll be thinking of something else, right? However, the idea is in Excel, first to use the normal formula, then there is something in Excel called array formulas. To use the array formulas, even if you can't solve this through normal formulas and array formulas, maybe go to the pivot table, but that is not suggested that much, because pivot table is very, you can't play that much with pivot table. Even if you can't do it pivot table, then go to VBA, right? Few people who understand VBA tries to write every code in VBA. That is not the way to work, because VBA will execution will take time. You have to save the file in XLSB or XLSM format. That also takes space. So that is not the right approach. First of all, try to solve anything with formula in Excel. Break it into multiple problems and try to see if there is a there is a way that exists. Then, if that way does not exist, go to array formulas. If that way also does not work, go to pivot. If that also does not work, then VBA. As for example, if I just have a just want to write the name in reverse, there is no formula in Excel that can do that. For that, you have to kind of use VBA, right? There is no other way to do that, and you have to kind of like the formula should change. Like you can create your own formula in VBA, but other, I mean, it is not easy to do that, right? However, this flash fill can also solve for that. In any case, I think the video for today was for Excel. Like, and obviously, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Share this with your friend who are giving themselves, 9, and maybe you are actually a 9, 9 or 9 level candidate, but Excel is vast, and you need a lot of expertise on Excel to give yourself 9. Even I can't give myself 9, and trust me, I'm in Microsoft certified expert Excel, expert in Excel, right? I have that certification, but even then I can't say that, because every version Excel improves. There is something or the other, right? I still don't know anything about that, that BI, Power BI or something that is there in Excel. Now, to create those courses, you have to learn all of those things. Maybe not be part of the first one, the intermediate series, but maybe part of the advanced one, right? So that's also the beauty of teaching. You have to know more, uh, only then you can teach well, right? Because you have to kind of gauge the questions that other people will have, and you have to kind of communicate your thought process. So if you like my thought process, I think you'll also enjoy the actual concept, because that would be much easier for me to explain, especially SP2, right? And once again, don't put in extra effort. Put the extra effort in other places, right? Learn something outside actual. For that also, I'll create courses, and I think the first course that I'll be creating in that direction we call Sparkle. Sparkle 1, Sparkle 2, Sparkle 3 will keep on producing those, right? but direct your energy there. Don't spend 4 months in sp2, because that will not solve anything. If you have to clear sp2, 2.5 months is enough. More than that is just wastage of your time. You are just over preparing, overthinking, over analyzing, and like they say, analysis 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 lead to paralysis paralysis paralysis. So that's it. Thanks for watching this video, and see you next week.